Now, I know what you're thinking. Where did this theory even come from? White toenails, great performance. Robinson Found Racing Pigeons, James here. Hope this finds everyone doing well. So, today I'm gonna quickly address something that I often see. I've actually already talked about it in one of my other videos, the video on how to assess quality racing pigeons. I'll put a link to that. But, here's the question. Are all white toenails an indicator of an excellent breeder? So now we're talking about all white toenails on an otherwise completely blue bird. Here's the bottom line. I'm going to give you the takeaway. Basically, we can rephrase that and say, is color anywhere on the body correlated with performance, either as a breeder or a racer? I think you all know the answer to that question. So let's get into it. Here we go. White toenails is caused by the expression of the pied ball gene, or the pied gene. So here you can see this pied, blue bar pied. It's got white toenails. Okay, but it also has white expressed elsewhere. So wherever the pied bald gene is expressed, there is an absence of pigmentation. So that results in a white phenotype. There should be no buzz at all about all white toenails. It's just a phenotypic trait indicating that there is pied bald gene in the background genetics of that family of birds. So for example, these two are out of Athena, who is a straight up blue bar, and Flyboy. Flyboy is a pencil. I can't remember if he has any white in him. I do not think he does, but his sire, Lone Star, had the tiniest bit of white on the top of the head, much less than this bird right here. There is pied in the background in Flyboy, so he inherited that from his father, and so he sometimes will produce youngsters with the pied gene popping up and being expressed. Sometimes that expression occurs on the feathers, sometimes it occurs on the toenails, sometimes it doesn't get expressed on the feathers, but is expressed on the toenails. But it's nothing to get excited about, folks. Sorry. Not judging anybody, but it is what it is. Let's take a look at Flyboy. All right, there's Flyboy. No white on him at all. Dark toenails. Again, his sire had the tiniest bit of white right there on the back of his head. So he is a carrier of pied ball gene, but he himself does not have any of that expressed on his feathers or his toenails. But he's an awesome bird nonetheless. But you guys already knew that. All right, guys, so here's the takeaway, the bottom line. White toenails indicates that there is pied in the background genetics of the bird. Nothing more. This video is brought to you and interrupted by Nori the cat. Oh, and Watson the dog. Okay, so now I will say that I have friends and colleagues in the pigeon sport that put some faith in the white toenails idea. And they are really successful. And I just want to say I have nothing but respect for these guys. If you believe in this, great, go for it. But, you know, this is just an instance where my friends and I will have to agree to disagree. All right, so this bird right here is Kevin, named after one of our viewers, Kevin Norton. Hey, Kevin Norton. All right, so this guy has most of his toenails white. He's got one dark one right there. You can see that. but most of them are white. But he has no white feathers on his wings, on his head. No, he's a straight up blue bar. Now, what's interesting about this guy is both of his parents are blue bars. No white on them, but he's out of the Cuevas hen, and the nest sister of the Cuevas hen is a pied. Her name is Dab of Ranch, bred by Joe Nemelka. So, again, it's just an example of the pied gene being carried and being expressed in this bird just a tiny bit on its feet. Right there, we got the pied gene in the genetic background of this bird from the Cuevas hen. Nice bird right here, like this guy. Always have. So, as with any hypothesis, there's got to be a scientific basis behind it. Some underlying scientific principles that support that idea. And sadly, it's just not there for the white toenail idea or hypothesis. The other thing is, you gotta show me the data. It's not enough to say, hey, I've got several birds that are straight blues or blacks and they have white toenails and they're awesome breeders. Sorry, that's not gonna cut it. So again, if you adhere to this principle or idea, no offense to you, we're still best buds. But I just want to promote scientifically based principles in breeding quality racing pigeons and debunk some of the theories that are out there. Now, I know what you're thinking. Where did this theory even come from? White toenails, great performance? No idea, but it's possibly fueled by the fact that some of the big flyers here in the US, some of the big dogs, have had really awesome birds, legendary breeders that have all white toenails and are straight up blue bars. No pied expressed anywhere else in them, like this guy, except with all white toenails. So maybe that has something to do with it. I think that Wolverine has all white toenails. So, when you see the big success of others and traits of their amazing breeders, it's easy to let the imagination go. And Mike Gannis has said himself, oh wow, all white toenails on this bird, it's special. So, that doesn't help. That just kind of propagates the idea. Oh well, it is what it is. Now, I'm not saying that all white toenails in a completely blue bird is not rare, because yeah, it is rare. What I'm saying is there's no correlation of that trait with performance as a breeder. If you have a breeder that's a blue bar or a blue check, no white feathers, but has all white toenails, and it's an awesome breeder, great, that's awesome. But those traits are not correlated. That's just coincidence. It's just the way the genes assorted. Genetics, baby. And let me be clear, I'm not trying to rain on anybody's parade. I just am trying to promote sound principles in racing pigeon selection and breeding. Look at those little pieds. Got a line of them right there. Those guys are all out of Lone Star. Two different hens. Ones closest to me are out of Lone Star and Athena, and then the one in the back, the check, is Lone Star and Djibouti, who is completely pied. She's 100% white. Dang, I think I've got some of the pied gene.